Our society has a toxic notion that if a person has been abused, then you shouldn't talk about it. It's a taboo. And we also have this toxic notion that if a woman has been previously married and then she's divorced, she becomes worthless in the society. This is Did You Know? And I'm your host, Nasruddin Shurem at the moment. Joining me today to discuss on this topic is none other than Sheikh Abu Asim Muhammad bin Othman from Kano. But before we deep dive into this discussion, stay tuned and we will be right back. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Good to have you on the show, Sheikh.
Thank you very much for this wonderful reception.
Alhamdulillah.
Barakallah feek.
The last time I had you, I actually asked you how was your trip to the United States. But since after last Ramadan, we didn't even have an interview with you. So I'm going to ask again, how was your last trip to the America?
Fantastically fantastic.
Alhamdulillah.
It was pain. It was rejuvenating. It was... name it what you want to name it, but on the high side it's very important, and we only ask Allah the Almighty to accept it, to endorse it, to reward it incalculably and graciously.
May Allah make it easy for the bless as well.
وإياكم بارك الله فينا.
Sheikh, our topic for today is about domestic violence. And this is an ambiguous word, very huge word that a layman might not have a proper understanding of what domestic violence is. It's like part of the words that when people say it means something else or it means the same thing. What's your take on domestic violence?
Well, my take on this, first, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First and foremost, you have a coinage, a word, coined from two words. Domestic violence. The violence is the noun, which has been qualified, being domestic, not external. Interior, not external what? So domestic violence, to my understanding, is a situation whereby squabbles, troubles, activities not pleasant are taking place. Particularly within the spousal cycle. The man visits bad things on his wife and vice versa. That is domestic violence within the matrimonial cycle. It can be somewhere else, in a working place. What is happening is also domestic violence within a working place. In a farming community, what takes place in terms of troubles is also violent, but it's domestically done and perpetrated. But usually the convention is, it talks about matrimony. Man and husband, father, his kids, and the like. That is the meaning of domestic violence from my perspective.
Inshallah, you made mention of the matrimonial part of domestic violence, and I want us to focus on that on this discussion. When it comes to today, when you look at the marital homes, how the wives are being treated at times, like in Nigeria, there is a statistic that shows that a lot of women have been abused, been beaten, and some men find beating as a way to show their power, to show that they have severity upon their wives. Although in some tradition, like the Tiv tradition, beating a woman is something praiseworthy. They tell you that if your husband has not beaten you, then you're not enjoying the fruit of marriage in the Tiv tradition. So what's your take on a man treating his wife in a very wrong way in marriage?
Well, my take is structured primarily on the Quranic and Sunnatic referential evidences. Okay. It's not something I'm taking from my cab.
No.
You have to structure, you have to base your argument on Allah says, the Prophet says, the pious predecessors, this is their take on.
Right.
We don't talk just from our own understanding or our idea is informed by any internal information, any view from someone else. That should be understood. A woman is mistreated, is dehumanized, humiliated, beaten, her right trodden upon by somebody claiming to be the husband. He claims to be the master. He is the Alpha and Omega. Some get it wrong. Wrong. If Quran says, وَالَّتِي تَخَافُونَ نُشُوزَهُنَّ فَإِذُوهُنَّ وَاهْجُرُوهُنَّ فِي الْمَضَاجِعِ وَاضْرِبُوهُنَّ فإن أطعنكم فلا تبغوا عليهن سبيلا إن الله كان عليه كبيرا in chapter number 4. Those women that you fear, their intransigence, their insolence, their rebellious behavior, first preach to them. My beloved wife, this thing is bad. Culturally, religiously, spiritually. Try to call her attention to the things. If she has sense with her, she will understand. Right? If she fails, go to the second stage. Take your leave of her. But within the room, do not share the same bed with her. Within the same room.
So after I've called her attention,
after you have preached to her, you have counseled her, you have warned her about the negative consequential result of her misbehavior, then she proves unrepentant, then just distance yourself from her within the room.
So she should
don't leave the house.
And then you be grounded.
Oh, really? For example. But some people don't even care to go after the sequence arrangement. From day one, they jump to the inconclusive conclusion of beating. Because you have the hand, because you're powerful, because you're a man. But Allah is higher than you are. Absolutely. After this, then Allah said, beat them. 3 stages. Preach, leave her, distance yourself, and then beat her. Beat her. It's Quran. How? Beautiful. Scholars are saying, beating her doesn't mean just giving her punches. Taking a huge stick, thrashing her. Some are saying use a tune stick.
The siwak.
Yeah, that's what means what? Oh, my darling. For example, it may sound like something comical. Some say use the barrier golf. How about this guy boxing her? Using his belt, beating the hell out of her to the point of causing bleeding her. Some wouldn't even have the idea of beating. Beating to the legs is the Quran. That is our teaching. We don't owe anybody apology. That is our teaching. Islam is not on the defensive. No, absolutely. You, the one who loves this, who loves the idea of beating, you are the one should be on the defensive. Defend yourself. That's the Quranic injunction. But the typology of beating matters. That is where the argument should center on. Now you're telling me that some taking a pride for a woman to be beaten. Not in Islam. And I want to tell you, Brother Shrek, no obedient woman should misbehave to the point of being beaten. Aywallah. The Arab said, إِذَا أَنْتَ أَكْرَمْتَ الْكَرِيمَ مَلَكْتَهُ وَإِنْ أَنْتَ أَكْرَمْتَ اللَّئِيمَ تَمَرَّدَ. An honorable person, if you honor him, he feels highly honored. Right. He behaves himself. Sure. So say a woman. But unrepentant rock, a wayward. You honor him, he feels because I'm above him. If a woman like this, she is unrepentant rebel. How can you handle her?
Amazingly, Sheikh, we're talking about how the woman was even a situation whereby we have men for no reason, they begin to just beat the wife to this drastic measure. What should the woman do? She should do exactly what was mentioned in the Quran.
We should come to that. Come to that.
Yeah.
There are some men who are naturally, incurably bad people. He takes luxury, in beating his wife. The Prophet said, how dare you beating your wife? Like an animal? The same Quran saying, the Prophet is explaining, there should be causality for that. But in a situation where she was unjustifiably maltreated by her husband, naturally you expect her to react. Because to every action there's reaction. She's a human being, not a stone. You beat her unjustifiably, she's gonna react. To the point of even overreacting. Okay, how should he react? That's your question. Number one, she should be told. Because violence shouldn't beget violence. If the husband becomes animalistic in behavior, you should be humanistic. At least you rank higher than the husband. If you treat you badly, tell him, I won't do that. Because I am guided by the Quranic teaching. but it's not the son of souls. You'll be ashamed of himself. Number two, I will report you to those higher than you are, or higher than you are, your parent. The message you go, I will tell the Imam. Number three, I will go to evidences, witnesses. Those you're doing, do not blame me if I react one day. This is what we call civilized way of dousing this kind of spoils and rancor.
Right.
This is the way. Not for a woman say, okay, he beats me for the first time, I'm going to have my knife, my gun. You are inviting rancor into the house. You are leaving a permanent scar on your psyche, which is transferable to your kids. An example, if a woman overreacts, as an example, to the point of killing her husband, and they have kids, what is she going to tell the kid later? Oh, my daughter, I am the killer of your father. How will she react, the daughter? Even if that woman, for example, is not even killed. For example, she remains with eternal and mental agony, spiritual agonization. Oh, my mother, you killed my father. One day, that is going to be eternal and permanent scar on her. Just an example I'm giving you.
Right.
So I told you, I have answered your question. That is how she should react. If the husband has acted badly, he shouldn't act badly.
So, Sheikh, if the husband, is unrepentant, can the woman actually seek for divorce?
Yeah, we said it previously that just the kind of it to just refresh the mind of maybe those who will listen. If the husband becomes unrepentant, the way I put it, he refuses to hearken to the voice of reason. Treat her well. She is the mother of your children and kids. She is your friend by your side. The Quran says, "Wasahiba bil-jar." Respect your friend by your side. What am I saying? It's your wife. She's by your side. She's your comforter. She is your friend in this life. With all this qualification, yet you're unrepentant in dealing with her ruthlessly, satanically, so to put it that way. In that case, the situation reaches unbearable momentum. Yeah, the woman can look for a divorce in an appropriate manner, in a Sharia compliant procedure. All right, don't go beyond the Sharia. The Sharia gives the chance. So go for a system where it will earn for you Allah's endorsement, Allah's pleasure, Allah's acceptance. So yeah, she can seek for a divorce. I quoted earlier, the Prophet ﷺ says, if any woman looks for divorce for no justifiable cause, she will never have the fragrance of the Jannah.
It has to be a justifiable cause.
That's the issue. For example, he's a drunkard. He doesn't pray. Alright, he beats her. He thrashes her in the presence of her kids. Do you know, oh, your husband, do not even give nasiha to your wife in the presence of her children.
Yeah, secret.
Oh, yeah.
You can embarrass them.
Hey, why are you behaving like this? These are her kids. You feel you are their father, she is their mother.
Absolutely.
Don't forget the woman has 3 rights. 3. Somebody said, Ya Rasulullah, whom shall I obey? He said, your mother. Come again, your mother. Come again, your mother. On the 4th occasion, your father.
Right.
So how dare you? You thrash her. You want to break her? Mentally, emotionally, spiritually? Don't do that. Call her by the side. My darling, this thing is not good. I will say, our kids, because we want to give them a line of teaching, which is enduring. These are the ways. In the same line manner, you don't behave to your husband erratically in the presence of what? Your kids. We have to have what we call reciprocity in behavior, reciprocal gesture. So yes, she can look for that. Look, last 10 days, a woman called me in Kano. She was coming in the house and she was telling me that, yes, Sheikh, my husband does not pray in the Jama'ah. He only prays in the house. He will hear them waiting, he wouldn't go out for her. They were 2. We preached, we talked, he told them, this is how Allah has created me. If you want to live with me, okay. Otherwise, make una cariko. I told her he is a liar. Allah didn't create him like this. He has taken this behavior onto himself. Go to the university or your working place. Refuse coming to the office and tell your Oga, this is how God created me. Okay. Go and slap somebody and say, this is how Allah created me. So you have been just a blatant liar. You have to effect what we call a change. Through changing, you're going to see change. In Allah does not change something with the people until the change has been effected by themselves. So, going back again, yeah, she can look for a divorce in a way, in a manner, in a situation which is appropriate, Sharia compliant, that does not transgress the limits.
Yeah, Sheikh, speaking about the divorces, there are cases, I've had a case where a woman spoke to me about her husband, billah, being homosexual, and then she spoke to her parent about it. That, see, my husband is this, and this, and I want to leave the marriage. And the parents would be like, no, you don't need to tell people, you don't need to put us in shame. Just be in the marriage, be patient. What's your take on this?
What does he mean by be patient? Be patient, I'm going to change. Patience is to a traffic here. Be patient, live it. Live the standard behavior. That is patient there.
Right.
Then I'll be patient. I won't tell anybody. It will be out of tune with reality to tell her, be patient, whereas you perpetrate your standard behavior. So he misunderstands the meaning of patience here.
The parent as well.
Parent as well. If he keeps on, she has to tell them, oh yeah, you are the one that has put himself onto shame. You are the causality. You caused it. The author of Ahdari says, وَلَا يَحِلُّ لَهُ صُحْبَةُ فَاسِقٍ وَلَا مُجَالَسَتُهُ لِغَيْرِ الضَّرُورَةِ.
Right.
A fasiq, a profligate, a wayward, a transgressor shouldn't be cohabitated with. Now the husband is a perpetrator of evil doing things.
Right.
It's an action that calls for Allah's wrath. A whole nation was uprooted. وَالْمُؤْتَفِكَةُ بِالْخَاطِئَةِ. He's doing that. Allah al-Musta'an. You said be patient? He said no, it's not patience. If you want me to with you, be patient. Patience, what is patience? According to ulama, they say patience is hamlun nafsi al-makarih ibtigha amr. That's the definition. Hamlun nafsi al-makarih ibtigha amr. You uphold oneself. Right. Uphold oneself in doing what is pleasing to Allah, even though it's not pleasant to Him. That is patience. Going out in the morning during hammer time is not pleasant, but it pleases Allah now. That is patience. So to control your lust, L-U-S-T, lust, right, against this bad thing is patience. Sure. So you're not patient. You're asking her to be patient? That is contradictory according to historical analysis.
Actually, this is amazing because, it put the individual in a situation whereby my parents are telling me to be patient with this man that I know he's a fasik, he's a wayward, and then respecting my parent. So how do you balance this? Will I respect my parent knowing that I'm getting hot in this?
I said it. It's not even patience now. The parent have to be properly educated, should be enlightened on the reality.
Right.
Because to be informed is to be formed. To be misinformed is to be deformed. We don't want deformity.
Right.
The parents seem to be mentally deformed or realistically deformed in this manner. So it is your duty to tell your parent properly. Right. You see, the only thing is that you go by his advice, don't question. First, leave it. Tell her, I swear to Allah, from today I'm leaving it. Then she has the comfort by being quiet. But how will you tell her, please be patient, and tomorrow you commit it again, next tomorrow, unrepentantly? How? So if the parent asks you, hey, be with him, we're going to curse you. Some parents are like that. They say, no. لا طاعة لمخلوق في مثل خالق. Nobody created should be obeying disobeying Allah the Almighty. I can never ever obey my parents with due respect. He is disobeying Allah. That is the thing. So the father, the mother don't have any rights to say be with him while he disobeying Allah. Otherwise, the parents also are lending their supporting hands to the profligacy of their husbands. They should come together to stop it. In the light of Quran 5:2, وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ. Do not help one another in the commitment of rancor and moral depravity. Fear Allah. Allah is very severe in chastisement. Yeah.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. Beautiful having you on the show as always. Hope to have you again, inshallah. So there viewers, we've come to the end of this episode. You've known what you really ought to know about domestic violence and trying to have a proper and deeper understanding. Make sure whatever you've learned here, trying to implement it in your life. This should not just be a waste, and try to also spread the message to a lot of people. This is your host, Nasser Shirin Abdul Mu'min. Until we see again, we leave you all the care of Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.